us we are together launching book of yoga class 11th and 12th. I will welcome Monica ma'am to speak words about the book as well as media events.
So our first guest is Ms. Monica Beryl. She is the Chief Executive Officer of Beauty and Wellness Sector Skill Council. Ms. Beryl holds a master's degree in Community Resource Management and Extension from Lady Irwin College, Delhi University, with distinction and second position in the university. She is a service professional with 25 years of experience in leadership roles and has extensively worked across India, Southeast Asia, and Gulf region to establish and operate brands. We welcome you, Ms. Monica.
Thank you so much. A very happy, blessed, and a beautiful morning to each one of you. It's an honor for me to welcome all our distinguished guests here, dignitaries on this event where we are collaborating. Beauty and Wellness Sector Skills Council is collaborating with Cbsc, and we are launching yoga books, handbooks for classes 11th and 12th. Today, we are privileged to have amongst us our chairman of Cbsc, Shri Manoj Ahuja ji, to do the honors of launching these two yoga student handbooks. Sir, your presence today for this yoga book launch event has infused immense enthusiasm, not only amongst us who are here between Cbsc and BWSSC, but amongst all the school principals who joined in, the school teachers, and most importantly, our school students for whom these books are meant to be. Along with our chairperson, we have the august presence of Gurudev Nagendraji, Chancellor S. Vyasa, University, and Hansama, Director, the Yoga Institute. They are our guest of honors. Learning from both these two yoga gurus is a blessing for all our students who are going to be learning their teachings through the books of the hand, which are being launched today. We all are blessed and we all are taking inspiration from these two yoga gurus to make our life not only complete on the well-being part, but even being peaceful and blissful today. We are also blessed to have Dr. Saha with us, who under his guidance and with his team of Moshmi ji has helped and collaborated from Cbsc side with BWSSC and all our yoga gurus to get these books launched today and to see the light of the day, for which we've been working with Cbsc from 2018. We have Dr. Joseph today with us, and his presence not only reiterates the fact that how important it is to have the academic qualification and the vocational qualification together for our students, for them to be not only equipped with skills, but to be skillfully employed once they move out from the school education. And we have Dr. Kocha, who needs no introduction. She's a role model for most of the students who are here on this panel and who would like to make a career in beauty and wellness. So welcome, Dr. Kocha. So very warm welcome to all. And to most importantly, our chairperson, Cbsc, Shri Manoj Ahuja ji. We in India are in the demographic dividend. And this is the best phase for the youth of our nation. And here Cbsc has taken the effort of making sure that the youth of our nation are skilled from the word go itself. So they have started collaborating with all the sector skill councils to get vocational education being available for the school students starting from classes 9th to classes 12th. In addition to that, we are collaborating with Cbsc under the new education policy for classes 6 to classes 8th also. Yoga, which is a heritage of India, has taken us to a next level of recognition in the world. And here, the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister to make India the skill capital of the globe, of the world, has led us to take yoga to the next level. In addition to that, through NSDC, we've taken yoga as an aspirational skill also for World Skill Competition. And for this time, for the first time in the history of yoga, we'll be taking yoga as a skill competition for India Skill. And after 2 cycles of India Skill, we'll be taking it to the next level of World Skill also. So BWSSC has developed 3 yoga job roles, which we are collaborating now with Cbsc under Dr. Saha's guidance. And we are starting it from classes 11 to 12. So welcome all, and I will give it to our chairperson to do the formal honors of launching the book. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. I would now like to take the privilege to invite the chairman of CBSC, Shri Manoj Ahuja. Sir is an IS officer of 1990 batch from Orissa cadre. He holds a BE from Harvard Institute of Engineering and Technology, Patiala, MBA from Punjab University, and Master's in Public Administration from Harvard University, USA. He joined as a chairman CBSC New Delhi in the year 2020. Prior to this, Sir served as a special director of Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration, Mysore. He worked in various capacities in his cadre in departments of agriculture, Department of Steel and Mines, and Food and Civil Supplies Department. Sir, I request you to kindly give the keynote address.
धन्यवाद डॉक्टर HR Nagendra, Chancellor S. Vyasa University, Dr. Hansaji Yogendra, Director Yoga Institute, Dr. Blossom Kocher, अध्यक्ष ब्यूटी एंड वेलनेस सेक्टर स्किल काउंसिल, मेरे सहकर्मी डॉक्टर साहा और डॉक्टर जोसेफ और अन्य प्रधान आचार्य शिक्षक जो आज उपस्थित हैं, सबको मेरा स्वागत और नमस्कार। राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति जो गत वर्ष आई थी, जो हमारे शिक्षा है भारत देश में, उसके बारे में एक नया मार्गदर्शन उसमें दिया गया है। उसमें वोकेशनल और स्किल एजुकेशन के ऊपर बहुत जोर दिया गया है। एक तरह से कहा गया है कि 50% छात्र को एक्सपोजर होना चाहिए, और ये भी कहा गया है कि एकेडमिक और नॉन एकेडमिक सब्जेक्ट कह लीजिए या वोकेशनल सब्जेक्ट्स हो जाइए, उसमें कोई हार्ड सेपरेशन नहीं होनी चाहिए, उसको मेन स्ट्रीम करना चाहिए। और बड़ी खुशी की बात है, इसमें CBSE के अधिक से अधिक स्कूल अब वोकेशनल और स्किल एजुकेशन के कोर्सेज ऑफर करते हैं। और इस साल नए कोर्स 6 to 8 जो मिडिल स्कूल है उसमें 11 कोर्स अभी ऑफर करे जा रहे हैं। सेकेंडरी स्कूल में 19 कोर्स हैं और हायर सेकेंडरी में 38 कोर्सेज हैं। और आज बड़े आनंद की बात है कि एक योगा जैसे विषय जो भारतीय संस्कृति के साथ जड़ित है और विश्व में जो प्रचार उसका हुआ है, इंडिया इज नोन ग्लोबली फॉर योगा, ऐसा विषय हम स्किल सब्जेक्ट्स में इंट्रोड्यूस करने जा रहे हैं 11वीं और 12वीं के शिक्षार्थियों के लिए। I'd like to thank the Beauty and Wellness Sector Skill Council for putting together this course. We are all aware that the National Education Policy talks about holistic education. It talks about health, talks about social and emotional well-being, and about a rounded personality. And I think yoga is an integral part of that education. I have we have eminent speakers here. Gurudev Nagendra ji हैं जो बात करेंगे. He will talk about yoga as a skill and choice for a career. और डॉक्टर हंसजी योगेंद्र जो हैं वो योगा फॉर होलिस्टिक वेलनेस. सो जो योगा है, it will I think fulfill a number of objectives of the national education policy, and it is an integral part of the education system. And through this small endeavor, we are institutionalizing it, offering as a course for students, both as a path to a career and also for their own as a part of their education because of its intrinsic merit and use. This will involve introducing this in CBSE systems. It does involve teachers training. For imparting these courses, we will need teachers with the requisite wherewithal, ability to teach that subject. And along with the beauty and wellness sector and experts, I think we will now ensure that enough schools have teachers who have the ability to teach this subject across CBSE schools. But I must again congratulate everybody, my own team under Dr. Saha, the team under Beauty and Wellness Sector Skill Council, and all others who have helped CBSE in putting together this program. I think it marks a very significant milestone in our journey towards fulfilling the objectives of the national education policy. And I wish everybody all the best. And I'm sure we will work together to make it much more successful and implement it in as many schools as possible. Thank you very much.
Sir,
Chairman sir to launch the book for Yoga 11 and 12, and all the dignitaries, if you can just be together and we can launch the book officially.
Today, we are fortunate to have with us two veteran and eminent gurus of yoga. It's an honor for me to welcome Padma Shri Guruji, Dr. H.R. Nagendra, the Chancellor, S. Vyasa University. Guruji is the personal yoga consultant of our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji. He is also a recipient of the Yoga Shri title from the Ministry of Health and Family Affairs. After doing his doctorate in 1968, he served as a faculty in IISc in the Department of Mechanical Engineering. He is the secretary of Vivekananda Kendra Yoga Research Foundation, Bangalore, and the director of the Indian Yoga Institute, Prashanti Uttimi. Guruji is serving as the chancellor of Swami Vivekananda Yoga Anusandhan Samasthan, the Yoga University in Bangalore. He has published 30 research papers in engineering and more than 100 papers in yoga. He has authored and co-authored 35 books on yoga. Pranam Guruji, we would now like to know how yoga can be a good career choice for the youth of our country.
Namaskar, my dear brothers and sisters, my dear Amsaji, and all the members of the Cbsc and also the Beauty and Wellness Sector Skill Council members. I'm so delighted that this important milestone has been achieved by bringing about the textbooks which are very essential for taking yoga as a skill. It's laudable that the skill ministry has taken up this essential dimension of promoting yoga in the form of a skill throughout the country, and it will be a big milestone in the development of the skill ministry. As all of you are aware, our Honorable Prime Minister Ji has been able to push yoga to the forefronts throughout the world through the International Day of Yoga. And in that context, we all sat together, our yoga masters, to prepare a common yoga protocol which was being promoted. And last year, for the International Day of Yoga, we had fixed a target of about 20 crores of people in India to practice. And we achieved probably 11 to 12 crores. But this year, this June, we wanted to cross that thing, and almost it has reached that 18 to 19 crores of people. This shows how our wonderful Honorable Prime Minister has been able to push through every ministry to bring in yoga to the forefront. And naturally, Ministry of the Skill Council, all this also have come forward to promote it in a very big way. Ultimately, it has to go into our education system. So NCDC, then NCRT, all this, and the UGC have been able to bring forth yoga into the education system. And as most of you have perceived yoga not merely as yogasanas or physical exercise, it is a process of total personality development. Physical, mental, emotional, intellectual, with a spiritual basis, to bring in the awareness of civic sense, patriotism, the service urge, and the spiritual zeal. What we call as fourfold consciousness, fourfold personality development. Swami Vivekananda emphasized education should be the manifestation of perfection already in man. Therefore, he said it should be a total personality development. In this context, we in Vivekananda Kendra started this entire journey in 1975 to bring yoga into primary education, particularly in the northeast region, where we had the Arunachal Pradesh and the surrounding areas, where people were in the lowest step of evolution, in the tribal areas, in the hilly areas. So we had to bring them up. That was a big task that was taken up by our main personality, Eknathji Ranade, who built the entire Vivekananda Kendra movement and took us. And we all worked hard to bring in the yoga dimension for this total personality development. Therefore, we were a set of educationalists, child psychiatrists, the psychologists, and health professionals. We all joined together to develop a suitable curricula for them. What is it that we have to teach for the first, second, third, fourth, fifth class up to 10th class? And based on our intense brainstorming, we said that we have to address every year one particular aspect of the personality. We said first year, eyesight improvement, then the hearing development, the voice culture, then the physical stamina development, then we have the memory development, audio memory, visual memory, audio visual memory, then short range memory, long range memory, then the IQ, development of the IQ, then the team spirit development, handling the emotions, ego management, stress management. So like that, we developed 10 different modules to develop the entire dimension of this fourfold personality development and fourfold consciousness development. And then we have to bring an evidence base for that. So we started our research with the RCT trials there, and then we have shown that yes, when we say it is going to improve the memory, does it so? How much improvement it can take in just 10 days? We have seen that we have been able to have almost 26% improvement in the audio memory, then 24% in the visual memory, and about 21% in the audio visual memory. Then the short range memory, 14%, long range memory, 9%. All that we showed and then published papers. So therefore, when it gets into the base of a scientific research of evidence base, then the things can be taken up. So this is our specialty. Right from 1975-78, we have been doing that. And the children have come up with wonderful things, personality development. And they are the most wanted children from Arunachal Pradesh. And we have expanded that in the Vivekananda Kendra, in the whole of Northeast and Andaman Nicobar Islands. And we have found that these children who come out, they come out with flying colors, always 100% pass. And they get the ranks in Arunachal Pradesh for the entire Northeast. And they're the most wanted people wherever they go. Oh, you're from Arunachal? Please come. Law, then medical, engineering, computer science, wherever they go, they have such well-behaved children with so much of fantastic capacity, singing, development, everything. And therefore, they have been able to grow so nicely in this total personality development. And therefore, yoga has been proven as a great skill. Then the government of Northeast, various states, they came forward to train their teachers. And we started training teachers. And similarly, then came up the private institutions like Vidya Bharati and many others. And they started wanting us to train the teachers. Over 10 to 15 years, by 1988, we were trained about 65,000 teachers throughout the country. And the things are going further. And therefore, this should be the base on which we bring yoga as a holistic vision to see that they develop their personality fully. So what is it that we use for these modules? Each module has a specific integrated yoga module. For example, eyesight improvement. For that, we have got the Trataka as one of the most important. The breathing is very important, and sitting. So like that, for each one of them, we developed integrated yoga module that is like a SOP, that is standard operating procedures, what we have to use. We use in the entire thing, Jnana Yoga, Raj Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga aspect of it. And in this, we have got asana, pranayama, mudras, panthas, kriyas, all included in these things. And also the Krida Yoga, one of the best that children love to do that. And we developed nearly 120 types of different Krida Yogas. I know Hamsaji group also have done wonderful work in this direction and have been developed. large number of students to take up this play, and then they have developed their personality wonderfully well. And we are the two main institutions. We developed for the children what is to be done. And once we give a strong foundation of total education system for total personality development, then it will be the best that we can do for the education system. So with this, now I'm glad that we have brought out the textbooks for these things, which can be used as a skill thing. We'll be happy to go through these things. I congratulate those people who have created this wonderful textbook for adopting that, the Cbsc and others, and continuously there could be an improvement as to how we can bring about these things. So now the Swayam has asked us to prepare the videos and complete books for these things, and for Ministry of Ayush under the COE, that is a Center of Excellence, which we have developed all these books in small things, and that we are now submitting it to Ministry of Ayush, and complete video will all come into the Swayam. Therefore, it can come up in all the languages as well. And we have people who have been trained in this thing to do that, and in collaboration with our Hamsaji, Santa Cruz Institute, we have brought out these things nicely, and that should be the basis. Otherwise, there will always been a problem as to what asana I have to introduce for people at the age of 6. What asana is not to be done. This is how people were thinking. Complete change in the mindset with a completely new dimension has to be brought forth. That be based on Swami Vivekananda's teaching, saying that education should be the manifestation perfection already in man. The total personality development has to be developed. And that is the key essence. It is not merely develop only the intellect, as often we do, and forgetting about the total personality. Emotional dimensions, bringing love for the country, love for the people, service urge, spiritual urge, patriotic urge, all these things should be brought forth. And also the civic sense has to be developed. So with all these things, new dimension, which we started in 1976, grow. And then we took up this in entire our rural development project in Kanyakumari, Tinnavelli, Ramanathapuram, Chidambaram districts in Tamil Nadu and Kerala. And lakhs of people were introduced with this dimension of education through our Balwadis. Balwadis are like our things which goes on up to they come to the primary level, and even children who are in the primary level, they started coming up. But secondary education is very important, particularly with the new NDP that is coming up. We have to bring in this total dimension, introduce systematically, so that we will bring out wonderfully innovative people, and then highly developed leadership things can happen for the country. So this is the main thing, and I'm very, very happy that the Cbsc have come out with these books, and as an expert team with Hamsaji and ours, we can form an expert team now to see how best we can improve this further and bring about for each class different things. For class 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 with a new education policy, and then what are the dimensions we have to bring in. Similarly, primary education also we can bring. Since it is all coming up through the Ministry of Ayush, and also we are bringing it through the Ministry of NCERT and others, this can be adopted easily because these things are coming up through this dimension. So this is how we have to give a new total personality development, consciousness development direction to the growth of this thing as a skill. Skill is a very, very important thing, and Ministry of Skill has been doing fantastic work spreading the skill, and rightly our Honorable Prime Minister has pushed this, that we should have the skill, yoga as a skill to spread everywhere into every nook and corner of the country, and this is how we can grow. And our children in the rural areas, in the tribal areas are so fantastic. Their creativity, their power is immense, and they are completely open-minded, and we have found that the children there are exceedingly good. Entire Northeast and Andaman Nicobar, there are now 65 schools which has been supported by the government and government Ministry of Education, the local state government and central government. They all have supported that thing. Vivekananda Kendra Vidyalayas have grown all over. Similarly, under the Sangha things, Vidya Bharati have all number of schools, thousands and thousands of schools. And Ekal Vidyalaya is another group where they are developing this entirely in every rural areas. Lack of schools have come up in the rural area with one teacher schools. They're all we have introduced. So we have the collaboration with all these things to develop the total dimension of the personality. So with this, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to share with you what we have been able to do from the last almost 4 decades, and how this can be brought forth and leverage for making yoga a very powerful skill in our country and all over the world. Thank you so much and wish you all the best. And we have our greeting from Swami Vivekananda Yoganusandhan Samsthan University here. Namaskar. Dhanyavad.
I'd like to extend my warm regards to you for always showering us with your knowledge and focused guidance. Our next guest of honor is our beloved Ma. Dr. Hansaji Yogendra, the director of the Yoga Institute, the oldest yoga institute of India, founded in 1980. Hansa Ma is the country's first lady yoga guru, who was invited by the Government of India Ministry of Ayush to flag off the International Day of Yoga event in New Delhi on 21st June 2015 in the presence of our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. Hansaji is a well-known speaker among international yoga fraternity for setting a goal on popularizing yoga across the globe. Namaskar and welcome, Ma. Ma, we would like to know how yoga plays a crucial role in enhancing holistic wellness.
Ma'am, please unmute your mic.
Ansama, you will need to unmute. Can you just follow up?
Yeah, I think somebody's helping.
Right? Okay. Am I audible now? Yes? So again, I'll have to repeat. Namaskar to all of you. Dr. Nagendra has spoken beautifully. So you know exactly what yoga is and how yoga deals with human life. Entire world is looking at us, the Yoga Institute, the India and the yoga institutes all over, to see that they learn this basic science of yoga. This is, of course, a science, but what if whenever you are learning something, it is a skill. Learning is a skill. Person should be in a learning state always. We always say that you may become teacher, you may start teaching, but learning should continue. There are 4, 5 qualities of a learner which every learner should have. Rather, every human should have, because all of us are learning from life, from nature. And God is our first guru. We learn from life fully. And so, we always say that first quality is Kakacheshta, what you call as a inquisitiveness, always questioning what is happening, why it is happening, and learning from that state, not doubting, learning. Because every situation can teach you something. Painful situation, good situation, successful situation, failure, everywhere learning is there. And once person learns, he will always outcome all the problems, will grow very well. Then the second quality is full attention, bakula dhyanam. like a crow, you try and be very, very focused. Go to the goal which you have decided and move ahead in life. Full intention, full focus. All our 5 sensory organs, 4 our organs of senses, organs of action, they all should be present when you are doing any work. If a work is worth doing, it is worth doing well. Every work should be done well, not casually, just for a play, bhai masti mein kuch karna hai, not at all. Let us be doing it sincerely. Third quality is Shwana Nidra, always alert, like a dog, even in sleep, little sound and dog wakes up. We should be that light and alert personality, not dull, lazy, and no control over our senses, never be there. So always light and be alert all the time. Fourth quality is mitahari, eat less. All these young students, they have to understand that the food plays a very big role in our overall well-being. As the food, so the mind. As the mind, so the man. So your thinking, so your action. So food is something which we should really be attentive, think before eating, eat only that which is nutritious. Of course, you can eat junk, but it should be a side dish, if at all. Yes, you eat food which you love to eat, like, but that would be a small portion. It should be good. So the natural food, being with nature, yoga is derived from nature, is so important that we should try and see that we eat natural things like fruits and vegetables. That has to go. Wheat, rice, jowar, bajra, makai, all varieties of dals, all sprouts, all these are wonderful. Nuts, all the nuts will give us good amount of energy, strength and balance. So all these things should be there. Soaked nuts to be eaten in the morning. So students should understand that timely eating food, eating less, mitahari, eating less, not more. Don't fill your stomach because you like. Still eat less. With minimum, you will be able to manage well, and body will be able to absorb, assimilate everything out of that food. If you have taken less, if you are eating more, body will store the things. There is always a question with today's generation that they become obese, they put on weight because sitting and opening the packet and eating, opening the bottle and drinking, this type of a food should be avoided. Try and see that we have to do something in life, and for that we need to be fit and fine. And so right type of a food has to be kept in mind and eaten because our life is focused. And then what we want in life is to see that we are away from the family's demand, family incense. Um, Try and see that your attention doesn't go in other areas of our life. Who is doing what, why he has behaved in that fashion, what he should do, what he should not do. No, you just mind your own business. Try and see that you are more focused in your work. So little bit away from family involvements here and there. Do minimum, whatever is required according to your parents or something, but be very clear. Your family group should be a strong group. You should be able to talk to somebody in the family openly if you are into emotionally some disturbance and all that. Yoga always say that whatever action you do, you think before doing any action. So if you are thinking, be very clear, why am I doing the action? What is the purpose behind doing the action? If I sit and worry, what's the purpose behind it? I will be losing my energy. I will be creating more problem for myself. The moment I worry, my blood pressure will go up, my pulse will go fast, and all those things will happen in my body. And so I should be clear, whatever I am doing, why am I doing? In life, don't make anything just physical. You are jumping, you are bending down, coming up, you are doing this and that, but your mind should be there with you. And your emotions also should be there with you. You have to do everything holistically, not just physical. Just physical is like a machine. A machine is also running, you are also running. There should be some purpose, why, what, how much, how. So we have to be little bit more alert and aware about the purpose behind doing any action. Students, they go to college. Now college is meant for schools, colleges. There we are going with some purpose to gain more knowledge, to gain more skills, and so many such things. But when the purpose is lost, we start making friends with others, and friends is fine. Friends together should be focusing on reaching the goal. But if that is not done, and what I'm noticing nowadays in Mumbai city and all these big cities, the schools and all these areas, they have more friends and boyfriends and girlfriends, and then love affair, and then heartbreak, and then acid throwing, and all that nonsense. Why? Because the purpose is lost. The purpose why you are going to school or college is forgotten. and so the whole problem. Yoga makes it very much clear that be clear. Whatever you are doing, think before doing any action. If you are thinking before action, you are doing yoga. These are the definition of yoga. Becoming aware about whatever you are doing is yoga. Yoga is a science of awareness. It's a culture of consciousness. All body, mind, emotion, intellect, everything focusing at work is yoga. Yoga means concentration. Concentration and yoga is synonymous word. Yuj samadho. You are uniting yourself with the object about which you want to learn everything is yoga. And so these are the balanced state of mind is yoga. Maintain your own balance. Ups and downs are part and parcel of life. You should maintain your balance. So that has to happen. So this is nothing else but skill. There is a reason to get hurt. There is a reason to get upset because somebody behaved rudely, so you are hurt. But then you have a choice to get hurt or not to get hurt because you have some focus behind. I always ask people question that what is life? After all, whatever we are doing in our life, what is life? And so people answer life is between B and D, ABCD of life. So between B and D, birth and death is life. But there is C in between. What is this C? C is a choice. To get hurt or not to get hurt. To worry or not to worry. Feel bad or not to feel bad. You have a choice. You have given in your exam. Now you have a choice to sit and worry what will happen or not. Don't take that negative choice with you. Always have positivity. Always have faith that whatever will happen for good. All the results, everything is happening for your own good because you are learning from whatever situation you are in. And so try and understand these areas. And as far as others are concerned, all others, we should remember that every human is a unique personality by itself. Every human is a variety. Every human has its own body, mind, emotions. Every human has his own upbringing and everything. They are different than what you are. If according to you, you have done something very nicely, but according to somebody, it may not be. They may criticize you. You don't have to get hurt about it. You don't have to worry because they are different. You are different. Nobody can understand you 100%. So don't get into these emotional traumas. Somebody behaved rudely, somebody criticized you, somebody talked bad about you. Now that is somebody, his thinking, his nature, his behavior, his satya. You don't worry about yours. So you don't get affected by the external world. The external world is continuously changeful. What today a person is, tomorrow he may be different. Today he may be talking very nicely, tomorrow he may not be, he may be hating you. That's his problem. So we should learn how to live. And here comes another definition of yoga, balanced state of mind is yoga. So maintain your own balance. Nothing should bother you. You should be focusing in your area. So when we are talking about yoga as a skill, yoga to be taught to others, yoga is a different subject than all other subjects. Physics, maths, chemistry, biology, yoga is different subject because yoga is more an experiential science. And person has to first experience. If he feels that getting angry is wrong, and getting angry is wrong, because you hurt yourself before you hurt others. And so it is wrong. Instead of getting angry, what to do? Now students should start thinking, here is a situation. Naturally you will get angry, but instead of that, what can I do? How could I still put my ideas across, or how could I still make an impact on others? We have to start thinking in that fashion. So when we are trying to teach others, yoga tells you that first you have to believe in yourself, know yourself, learn yourself. If I stop getting angry, then only I should tell others don't get angry. Otherwise, I have no right to do that because yoga is more an experiential science. If I don't speak lies, then only I can tell others don't do that. So yoga has to be lived first. Yoga has to go into your day-to-day living. whatever you are doing, you are eating food, think before eating and then eat happily and positively. You are talking to somebody, have confidence and faith. You do your job. He may be doing his part. You do your part and go ahead in life. So this is how we are supposed to move ahead in life. So all the students, it's always good. Rather we say that yoga is for prani matra. Every human should learn yoga. And I always say that when students take yoga as a subject, even their families should take interest, and yoga has to go into families, in personalities. Whole family, when they start thinking that this type of a food is healthy, then there won't be any problem. Otherwise, there would always be a situation where it would be difficult. So try and imbibe the spirit of yoga, the essence of yoga into your life and start living yoga properly. And that would help to teach very naturally, very easily, and it would be a joy when you are useful to others. Somebody comes to you that I have a backache, I have a headache, and you tell them that this is how you relax, this is how you sleep, this is how you increase little circulation to your head region, and you will not have a headache. And that person comes to you that my headache is gone, and you feel so fine that your life is worthwhile. A worthwhileness comes, that feeling of worthlessness goes away somehow. When you are worthwhile in life, when you feel useful for somebody, that gives you immense joy. You start enjoying every moment of your life then well. So all these students, I would say, we should encourage every child to learn yoga in schools, because they have to learn how to take care of their body, how to take care of their mind, how to say that mind doesn't start going into wrong direction. If it goes, how to bring it back. So here are the techniques of yoga which brings mind back, because the whole problem with humans is not body so much, it is the mind. Everything, mind needs training. Human mind is highly developed mind, and that's why it needs training. And so we should try and go into all these things. And I'm very, very glad, very happy that you all are thinking of introducing and bringing yoga into children's life, and it should get into limelight. Try and see that every child experience something. Every class, we have seen that if a mathematics teacher goes in the class and starts teaching, first 5 minutes, if she could make child to just sit quietly, or she could make child to take few deep breaths, or she could make child to tell that today, whole day, a homework would be that you will not worry. Or a homework could be that you will not speak loudly, or a homework could be that you will eat only home food and not food from a packet or ready-made food outside. Such awareness has to come in a class, and every teacher can involve this type of education in their class. We have done good amount of research that a maths teacher, when she spends 5 minutes on any of these things and then starts teaching maths, children learn better. That class does very good because now mind is focused. So this is how yoga has to go. And separate learning yoga and teaching yoga in any cases, of course, we should be doing that. So fine, I would congratulate all of you, and all of you are welcome. We are here since last 102 years, the Yoga Institute. And the Yoga Institute is teaching yoga for householders. We don't make anybody sadhu, sannyasis. We don't behave like a gurus, because every human has its own potential and every human is guru of himself. And so we have a very different approach, and we try and see that every human becomes more healthier, more capable, more useful to self and to family and to society, and more happy and useful in life. So with that, I would stop here. I welcome all of you. Anybody, if he's coming to Mumbai, we are very close to the airport, Santa Cruz, and you are all welcome to come to this center as and when possible. So namaskar to all of you.
Thank you for the wonderful and relatable suggestion. As always, listening to you gives tons of positive energy. We are grateful to you as always. I would now like to welcome the pioneer in aromatherapy and chairperson of Beauty and Wellness Sector Skill Council and the founder of the Blossom Coacher group of companies, Dr. Blossom Coacher. Dr. Coacher holds a high-ranking position in several organizations. She is the president of Organisation Mondiale Coiffure Paris, Intercoiffure India, and National Hairdresser Association. She is also the education director at the Blossom Coacher College of Creative Arts and Design. Ma'am, we are obliged to have you with us today. Kindly share your views.
Thank you. Thank you. First, I would like to say a big namaste to Shri Manoj Ji Ahuja, the chairman of Cbsc, Dr. Emmanuel, Director Academics, Dr. Biswajit Saha, Director, of course, Dr. Nagendra Ji for that wonderful talk that you've given us, and Hansa Ji, I've been following you and it was really wonderful hearing you. Of course, our CEO of Beauty and Wellness Sector Skill Council and everyone else. It's a real pleasure to be here today and to talk about yoga. Yoga, in fact, has been like, it's gone all over the world and I'm so very, very happy for that. And I'd just like to tell you a little bit of how it has been very, a personal story, when you all spoke about yoga, I thought about this personal story. When I was growing up, I was, of course, growing up in a boarding, and the nuns, when anybody used to come to put them into the boarding, they would call me and there was another friend. And then it came to us that we are the advertisements of the boarding. So I thought, oh, it is very good advertisement of the boarding, till one day we had a little, kind of a, what should I say? We had a play and all the parents were invited and my father was also sitting there and all the parents. And one of the parents' fathers asked my father, which is your daughter on stage? He said, the fattest one. So it came to my ears, when I came down, so that they said, oh yeah, this is my daughter. And the man said, it's the fattest one. Oh God, I realized what was really, the advertisement of the boarding. And I tried everything after that. I stopped food, I stopped everything. And it just made me a mess till I came across yoga. And then yoga took me on, and honestly, it helped me immensely. It helped me in getting my posture, in my reducing, it helped me in my mental, in focusing, in mental thing, it helped me in meditation, it helped me in keeping away my depression, anxiety. It is the most wonderful thing. And really, I recommend yoga. It is very holistic, and it is something that is so holistic because it's not just asanas like Hansaji was saying, it is to do with your mental, so we have meditation. Now that is definitely going to help your mental thing. We have the breathing, pranayam, and pranayam is so wonderful. I always tell everyone and students, even business people, even housewives, whenever you have to do something, just take, do your alom-vilom and you'll find that that is going to help you. So that was one. It also helps you to concentrate. And in these days when we've had this, when the children have not been in school and we've had this pandemic, I found that, what's happened, the posture is gone, the way they concentrate is gone. So this is something that is really going to help everyone. And it's really, so that is how the books have come across. And I am so very happy to be here and this whole thing. At this occasion, I would also like to congratulate Sir Manoj Ahuja, the chairman of Cbsc, for introducing this, Dr. Emmanuel, Director Academics, and Dr. Biswajit Saha for the skill education and training, for selecting yoga as a skill subject and introducing it in schools to take forward our Honorable Prime Minister's version to spread yoga worldwide. Nagendra ji, it was indeed a pleasure to have you on board with us. Can't thank you enough for all your support and this enlightening and motivating session. Hansa ji, we are highly obliged to have you with us as always. Thank you so much for such wonderful words. It was an illuminating discussion. And last but not least, would like to acknowledge the efforts made by the team at CBSC and BWSSC in making this day a grand success. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I would like to welcome Dr. Joseph Emmanuel, Director Academics at CBSC. We welcome you, sir. Request you to kindly share a few words with us.
Thank you so much. Respected Chairman CBSC, Manoj Ahuja sir, Guruji Nagendra, Ma Hansaji, Dr. Saha, Ms. Kocher, Ms. Bahel, and all those who are listening to me on this platform. Good morning to all of you. Today is a proud moment for both CBSC and Central Sector Skill Council, as CBSC is launching the Handbooks for Yoga textbooks, Yoga for classes 11 and 12. The board has already introduced yoga as a subject for the senior secondary classes, and yoga is also one of the co-scholastic areas as part of the health and physical education. After hearing Guruji Nagendra as well as Ma Hansaji, I can make out that yoga is India's answer to the problems in the world. It is addressing every human being, and it is helping every human being to overcome the problems which they personally and socially face in the challenging world. So whatever we are looking to achieve through the new national education policy, that is all-round development of the child, holistic development, holistic well-being, all are covered in yoga. It is physically, mentally, and emotionally touching every human life and every human being, and helping everyone to lead a successful as well as harmonious life with a lot of experience as well as joy. So it is experiential, it is joyful, it is helping everyone to be disciplined, everyone to attain the purpose of life, to see the purpose of life. So it is touching the human lives and human being. As Nagendra ji has very rightly said, education is the manifestation of perfection already in man. This is the words of Swami Vivekananda. So to help a human being to attain that level, yoga has a very, very big role to play. And as a career also, yoga will help our children to find a good livelihood. So it is a way of life as well as it is growing as a career. So it will help many of our youngsters to find a lot of employment opportunities by learning yoga and teaching yoga. And this is a momentous occasion for everyone. My congratulations to my colleague Dr. Saha and the entire team of Skill Education Unit in CBSE under the leadership of our chairman. And thank you Sector Skill Council for extending all support to CBSE team for bringing out this course and the handbook. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Our next speaker is the man under whose able wings various skill development courses have been introduced in the school ecosystem. He is none other than the Director of Training and Skill Education at CBSC, Dr. Biswajit Saha. A warm welcome, sir. Request you to kindly share your experience.
Namaskar. Respected Chairman CBSC, Dr. H.N. Nagendra ji, Dr. Hansa ji, Madam Co-Chair from Beauty Sector Skills Council, as well as CEO Manika ji from Beauty Sector Skills Council, Dr. Joseph, Director Academic, Mr. R.P. Singh, and other team members from both CBSC and Beauty Sector Skills Council, and of course the teachers community and the school leader community who have joined us virtually. It is really a momentous occasion for both CBSC and Beauty Sector Skills Council, through which we are trying to showcase the power of human body. And that realization is very much essential. I think both Dr. Hanshaji and Dr. Nagendra has rightly tried to focus upon in their speeches that how human body and mind can be an integral component of energy generations and joyful living. And that balancing approach we can really bring by means of yoga, practicing yoga, and also that the way we can live a joyful life. Because happiness quotient is very much important at this point of time. And maybe purposefully CBSC under the able leadership of Sri Manoj Ahuja sir, we are trying to venture out how we can create a positive environment in the school ecosystem. And that is the reasons of offering yoga as a mainstream subject at senior secondary level. And I'm really thankful to Beauty Sector Skills Council and all the leading experts. And in fact, in future, we like to collaborate with both the institutes of Dr. Nagendra and Dr. Hanshaji, so that we can bring, and we are also closely working with Ministry of Ayush. They are yoga institutions which Dr. Nagendra has tried to flag in his speech. And more creative inputs in terms of e-content and a kind of creatives we like to focus upon, so that a mass messaging can be carried out in the school ecosystem. And whatever we are carrying out, it is not actually meant only for CBSC. The entire school ecosystems, the other school board, other school educations department can also take the benefit out of it. And new education policy has rightly given us the recommendations and directive. Yes, this is the time for focusing on the skilling component in the school ecosystem, and integrations of both these kind of narratives in higher education system, I think would create a positive environment in near future. And with these words, I'm really thankful to all the members of Beauty Sector Skills Council and team members of our CBSC. And of course, because of the school principals initiative only, the massive response we have seen, and hopefully in the near future, each and every schools as a part of the life skills and as a part of a career, what Dr. Joseph has rightly suggested, that we can really work together for a new India and a happy India. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to invite Ms. Monica Verel, CEO, Beauty and Wellness Sector Skill Council, to give the vote of thanks.
Thank you so much. I am highly inspired by all the learnings that we've had today, and so much so with the presence of the Chairman CBSC, Shri Manoj Ahuja ji, Dr. Nagendra ji. Gurudev, aapse, whenever we listen to you, we are A, motivated to learn something new, and B, we are motivated to give it back to the society, the way you've given your entire life in teaching all of us. Hansama, you're always such a pleasure. You always end up teaching us a holistic way of living, and that too in such a subtle manner that it doesn't seem like a learning or a teaching. It seems like a way of life. This is what we need to teach our students, that this has to be the way of life. Yoga, as you rightly said, is an experiential science. It's not something that you will have to just learn in the textbooks. You will have to practice it for it to give you the complete benefit. And I must say here that our Honorable Prime Minister has the vision to take India to the global map. And in 2020, when he launched the new education policy, when we were just hit by coronavirus, nobody had thought that coronavirus, which is such a small virus, will affect our lives in such a manner. And as Dr. Emmanuel mentioned and Dr. Saha also mentioned, that yoga is a way which will not only make us sufficient enough for ourselves to live a life which is happy, but even will give us opportunity to be joyfully and peacefully skilled and have a respectful employability. Keeping in mind that our immunity plays a very, very important role, specifically in this pandemic time, when the schools are just reopening, we are getting back to a new normal, and we are here where we know that coronavirus is going to stay with us. Yoga as a subject which is getting launched through CBSE, and as Dr. Saha mentioned that it should be taken up by other school boards. And I must say, Dr. Saha here, even RMSA is taken up yoga between for classes 10th, 11th, 12th in the coming academic year. So this will help students to perform better in their academic performances as well as live a holistic life. And Dr. Koch has already shared her own life story where she has practiced yoga not only to get slim or to get fitter, but to get more peaceful, healthier, and a complete human being. So with that, I would like to request all our students who will be taking up this course, all our teachers who are going to be teaching these students, and all our school principals who are taking this initiative forward to go holistically into it and get into a 360-degree wellness. And here I must mention here with R.P. Singh sir's presence here, and Dr. under him, COE of Noida, Dr. Swati, we are bringing up a small course book for classes 6 to 8, where again yoga and good eating habit and grooming will be a part and parcel of it. With that, a very, very warm thank you to all of you, and wishing you a peaceful and a happy and a blessed yoga learning going forward. Thank you, sir.
Technical session होगा ना? So you just continue. Thank you very much.
A very good morning and a warm welcome to each one of you. Now we begin our next session, which is on capacity building of the teachers. This session will be chaired by our keynote speaker, Shri R.P. Singh, Joint Secretary CBSC. Our guest of honor are Dr. Taraknath Pramanik, Assistant Professor, Dr. Gaurav Rai, Sports Coordinator, Association of Indian Universities, Dr. Rajkumar Yadav, Professor AIMS. Now I would like to invite Shri R.P. Singh to give the keynote address. Over to you, sir.
I hope I'm audible. If you can hear me, just give me a thumbs up.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. I would like to welcome all the teachers and the principals and the resource persons who are here with us for this program, which is following up the launch of the textbook by CBSC for yoga. And this program is a very special program because it's a program that is being given as a booster dose or a small capsule of 3 hours. And it's basically a precursor of the detailed training that will happen later on. So the teachers who are here, they would be getting to know what the whole manual is about. They would be getting to know what the whole course is about. And when they take up this course, what they're getting into. And as has been previously highlighted in the previous session that we had, yoga is not only about doing asanas, it's also about maintaining a lifestyle. It's also about being healthy. It's also about looking after your body. And as the name suggests, it's also about being one with the environment and the nature. So it's basically being self-aware, being aware of your body, being aware of your environment, and then making and living your life in such a manner that you're not harming the environment, and that then in the process not harming your body also. It's not only physical, it's also mental. It's also your choices. It's how you deal with the things, like the previous speaker in the previous session had said that what is life? Life is between the choices that you make between the birth and the death. So it's the C between the B and the D. As it is very clearly mentioned, Dr. Harsha, who was in the previous session, we're very thankful to her for giving us, Dr. Hansaji Yogendra, for giving us this very beautiful line, and we will be using it frequently if she has not copyrighted it as yet. And we are here with two resource persons, Dr. Taraknath Pramanik and Dr. Gaurav Rai, who will be taking us through this session. And we have support, and I've been thankful to VT and Wellness Sector Skill Council for giving us the support in doing this program, in making the manual, and for helping us throughout in the whole program. Officer Dr. Moshmi is also there with us in this session, and we'll be taking up all the queries after the session. Thanks to Dr. Biswajit Saha and Chairman CBSC for arranging this program. We had around 2,000 participants for this program, but later on I was informed that because there were more than one name, so we had around 4,000 people to whom the mails are sent. So if you have not been able to participate through a mail that has been sent in your inbox, please join us on the YouTube, which is live and can be accessed later also. And because we've got limited time, so I'll not take much of the time. I'll pass on back to the moderator so that the first resource person can take over and you can enjoy the session. We'll be there, the CBSC will be there during the whole session. Any queries, we'll be addressing it later on towards the end of the program. Thank you so much, and back to you. I think Mr. Tarak, you are on mute. We are not able to hear you right now.
Thank you so much, sir. As rightly mentioned, yoga is not about your physical well-being, it's your emotional well-being, mental well-being, as well as physical well-being. Now, I would like to invite the Deputy Secretary of CBSC, Ms. Maushami Sarkar, to take the session forward.
morning, all teachers, all principals, all deputies, our chairperson, our joint secretary, our teaching sir, and Saha sir, our director, as well as Dr. Joseph sir, our academic director. Let me welcome Dr. Tarak Nath, Assistant Professor, IGIPSS, Delhi University, to speak about the subject and the content of the book so that principals and teachers who has already logged in the system can understand what we are teaching and what we are trying to do it with our knowledge as well as with their help for the benefit of student as well as for the human being. Thank you. Tarak sir, welcome you for this. Dr. Tarak, please unmute yourself. You can unmute yourself. Dr. Tarak sir, if you can unmute yourself and take the session. Dr. Tarak, we cannot hear you. Dr. Tarak sir, we cannot hear you. There is some technical glitch. Tarak sir, your mic is mute. Please unmute yourself. Thus, there is some technical issue coming with the expert. In the time, I will request Dr. Gaurav Rai, Sport Coordinator, AIU, to speak some words.
Yeah, very good morning. Is my voice is audible?
Yeah, it's very clear, Gauravji.
Okay. First of all, I would like to thanks our Honorable Prime Minister, sir, for taking this initiative to think about our yoga, which is inherited in our ancestors and which we need to bring it to our new generation. So it is very important for us to understand the kind atmosphere where we are living in COVID-19 situation, where we are gasping for breath, we're gasping for life. So it's a very good opportunity with the help of CBSE and Ministry of Education and Ministry of Youth, Fair and Sports. This has been organized. So I think I should start with my presentation.
Hello, I'm audible now.
Ji Tarak ji, you are audible.
हाँ और audible है लेकिन आवाज आ नहीं रही उधर से स्पीकर लगाना अपना अब लगाओ
Ji Tarak sir, you are audible.
मेरी आवाज आ रहा है
Tarak sir, you are audible.
आवाज आ रही है
तारक सर आवाज आ रही है
तारक सर आवाज ओके साउंड बंद कर दो Okay. Shall I start now? Presentation. Gaurav, shall I start now?
Yes sir, please.
Yes, sir, please. Good morning to all. I'm so sorry that I'm not able to connect you all. Okay, it's my privilege that I'm the part of CBSE with the Beauty and Wellness Sector Skill Council. I'm extremely thanks to Dr. Sujit Shah, Director CBSE, and Dr. Blossom Kocher, Chairperson, BNWSSC, and all in all. I'm extremely sincerely thanks to Dr. H.R. Nagendraji, Dr. Hansa Nagendraji, and all valuable speakers on yoga. I'm thanks to Sri R.P. Singh, Joint Secretary, CBSE, and also thanks to Mrs. Mausami Sarkar, Deputy Secretary, who gives me the opportunity to speak on introduction to yoga, texts, and health promotion. Myself, Dr. Taraknath Pramanik. Yoga is an essential spiritual discipline based on an extremely subtle science, which focuses on bringing harmony between mind and body. It is an art and science of healthy living. The word yoga is derived from the Sanskrit root. There's a huge meaning, huge meaning to join or yoke or to unite. So in the book, let's understand the text, yogic text. Very nicely, Patanjali defined yoga chitvritti nirodha. That yoga is the blocking of mental modification so that the seer re-identifies with the self. In Yoga Sutra, Patanjali written on the theory and practice of yoga with greater emphasis on practice. Written in the sutra, characteristic from a short, sharp, and clear statement. There are 4 chapters. This is Samadhipada, Sadhana, Vibodhipad, Kaivalya. It is considered as completions or codification of the yoga practice of Patanjali into a systematic framework. There are again Patanjali spoken of Stang Yoga, that is Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayama, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi. And it was described by vastly, briefly, with external discipline, internal discipline, postures, breath control, withdrawal of senses, concentration, meditation, absorptions. Again is called by Vairangya Yoga, that's external yoga, and Antaranga Yoga. There's a Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayama, the code of the physical regulations, self-conduct, discipline, posture of breath. Next is Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi. Senses, concentration, meditations, and spiritual. Hatha Yoga, Pradipika. The Hatha is a combination of these 2 syllables. That's a Hatha. Ha represent Prana Shakti, the vital force, and represent the Manas Shakti, your mind, the mental energy. Prana Shakti, the life force, and the Manas Shakti, the mental force, are 2 fundamental creators. There are consist of 389 slokas, but we are just including on the purification, that is Shatkarma, Asanas, Pranayama, and Bandha. But books, texts are described with the Satkarma, Asana, Pranayama, Chakra, Kundalini, Bandha, Shakti, Nadi, and Mudra. In Dhirana Sangita is a step-by-step detailed manual of yoga taught by sage Dhirendra to student Chanda. Again, speaks of a 7-fold yoga, that is Shatkarma for body cleansing, Asanas for body strengthening, Mudra for body steadying, Pratyahar for mind calming, Pranayama for inner lightness, Dhyana for inner perception, Samadhi for self-liberation and success. In Bhagavad Gita, the Bhagavad Gita has been considered has one of the most well-known, most read and widely followed Vedic literature. So these literatures, its teaching and message are still very clear and valid. The 3 types of yoga in particular have been emphasized by a commentator on the Bhagavad Gita, that is Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Jnana Yoga. Among the substitutions of the Gita, Karma Yoga has a special importance, not only because of the fact that it was the main teaching of Krishna, but also due to its practical implications to our real life scenarios. Again, is a brief anatomy, brief introductions of anatomy. You have to know how my asanas and pranayama is affecting. That's a kind of anatomy, gross anatomy, microscopic anatomy, development, and comparative anatomy. So brief introductions of your lungs, stomach, veins, pancreas, urinary, skeleton muscles, and microscopic anatomy. You have to speak, you have to tell them, the students, how the cells are affecting, how the tissues are affecting organs, systems, and organisms. While performing the asanas, development anatomy is affecting from till to birth to death. The spine is always working when you perform a asanas and pranayama and mudra bandha. The spine is again connected with all internal organs, there's liver, spleen, glands, and bone marrows. Sympathetic and parasympathetic organs also involved. So these are the things that are affecting in brief introductions in anatomy and physiology. How the digestive systems are working provides nutrition to all the cells in the body and all energy to all the parts of the body. So functioning of the digestive system is more important from nutrition from point of view. How Bhujangasan, Sarvangasan, halasana, chakrasanas. It's affecting to your digestive systems. The circulatory system supplies the blood with the nutrients and oxygen to all the cells in the body. Few postures, so many postures are there, like shoulder strains, like Sarvangasana, Bhujangasana, Salbhasana. This drain the impure blood from the various parts of the body, and the fresh blood is supplied, which improves the health of these organs. And respiratory systems, like Dhanurasana, Bhujangasana, Salbhasana. It strongs the healthy lungs, stronger respiratory muscles, diaphragm, intercostal, respiratory passage free, and mucus accumulated waste. In order to strengthen the systems, many asanas like Mayurasana, Salbhasana expand the chest to the full extent, which helps in the strengthening of the lungs. In effect to the glands also, your parathyroid glands, thyroid glands, pancreas, adrenal, liver. So these glands are always even in effect when you are performing the asanas. Now, the health promotions. How? A role of yoga for health promotions. Health, according to yoga, is a state of integrations, harmony, and balance among body, mind, and soul. There's a panchakosha concept of yoga, concept of body. The panchakosha is annamaya kosha, pranamaya kosha, manomaya kosha, vijnanmaya kosha, and anandamaya kosha. That's the higher stage of bliss. This annamaya kosha is again attributes, and these attributes are affecting to our body. So asanas, pranayama, bandha, these are again affecting to body and mind and soul. How physical body is affected in pranamaya, that's energy body, mental body, intellectual body, bliss body. Asanas, prana, manas, intellectual, and ananda. These are the koshas are again promoting the health to the student and the teachers. Again, another topic is the yogic principle of healthy living. The yogic principles of healthy living are found in the Yoga Sutra of Patanjali, Hatha Yoga, and Vedas extra. The principles are relevant to today's also. Achar, Vichar, Ahar, Vihar. These are the thoughts, these are the yogic lifestyles are really affected. Right healthy regular activities, right thoughts and attitudes, healthy nourishing diet, with pratyahara, proper recreational activities to relax body and mind, savasana, makrasana. Their attitudes, how you have to get the benefits of it, your behavior. Yogic text provides an insight into one mind with useful, religious, beneficial, peaceful, harmfulness, and spiritual bhavas and bhavnas. The 8 bhavas are there: dharma, self-direction; jnana, knowledge of one's body, mind, and soul; vairagya, let's go, do practice of asanas and pranayama; aishwarya, self-esteem, self-realization; adharma, opposite of dharma; ajnana, vairagya; avinishwa, incapacity. These are the bhavnas. Bhavnas is artha, kama, dharma, moksha. That means you have to get the effect of your body, safety, belongingness, self-actualizations. Some of the common lifestyle management is there. If you perform regularly practice of yoga asanas, shatkriya, pranayama, dhyana, the management of obesity is there. There are the few asanas are there: Tadasana, Kati Chakrasana, Pavan Muktasana, Sarvangasana, Nadi Shodhan, Surya Vedan. Management of diabetes, again, Kapalbhati, Agnisar, Kati Chakrasana, Pavan Muktasana, Sarvangasana, Halasana, Surya Vedan, Brahmari. These are the asanas are affecting when the student or when the people are having a disease. They have to manage their hypertension to yoga. Again, the Tadasana, Kunasan, Uttanapadasana. So diseases are cured by regular practice of asanas, especially back pain. Shuksham Bham, Kati Chakrasana, Ardha Chakrasana. Students are sitting in the chair, they are going forward tilt. So they have to perform these asanas. And they perform these asanas, they will get more benefited. Teachers are sitting in the chair, so they have to perform Ardha Chakrasana, Punasana, Ustrasana. So it will cure the whole body, and nowadays the students are having a asthma. So asthma is well documented now. Aim of the treatment of asthma should be bronchoconstrictions and tackle the training factors. Kunjal, Sutraniti, Bhujangasana, Salvasana, Om chanting. Do only Surya Namaskara. You'll get the benefit of asthma. Ahara, diet. So, yogic concept of ahara is eating the right food is considered an essential component in achieving physical, mental, and emotional balance. The yogic literature speaks the three gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamasic. These foods may be divided into different type of gunas. So you have, if you take a sattvic food, then fresh food, vegetables, uncooked food. Rajas, spicy herbs, and tamas, that's fried foods, meat, processed food. These are the foods, you know, affected to your body, and the gunas are working, and you have to, the elements forces are there. Next is the personality development. How the personality development has several interrelated dimensions, namely physical, intellectual, emotional, social, and spiritual. Nowadays, everybody is in stress. For a balanced personality, certain tasks and competencies and all the dimensions are required to master. Regular practice of asana, pranayama, and really the 11th, 12th class subjects are really helpful to the school students. They will practice the regularly, they will get the more benefited and mastered over the flexibility, strength, body awareness, balance and coordination, attention and behavior regulations, cognitive skills and language development, social skills. Oh, it is a wonderful sign that yoga has been accepted by millions of peoples of the worldwide nations. This is because of yoga is helping people fight stress, tension, and a great number of medical complications which are visible and invisible all around in this age. The ability of the scientifically proven literature has convinced people but about the benefits of yoga, which is the cheapest and most effective in the process of eradication of stress, tension with immense satisfaction. It will be benefited to all the students of the schools. It is not easy to stay calm when you have an important exams to face, but there are ways to keep your mind relaxed and focus. So practicing of yoga will not only help sharpness your brain, but also improve your memory. Thank you. Thank you to all. This is about the subject and topic. I finished. Thank you. Over to Mike. Most of
Detailing about the yoga. Thank you very much, sir. CBSE is highly obliged for your comments as well as the contribution you have done in the book. Next panelist is Dr. Gaurav Rai, Sports Coordinator, AIU, Delhi. He will tell us about introduction of yoga practice from our student handbook. We welcome Gaurav Rai, sir.
Thank you, madam. I think my voice is audible.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Tarak sir, for giving us a brief introduction about human body. It's very important for us to be physically fit, mentally fit, and overall development is the need of an hour. So without wasting much of time, I am taking you all to the journey of yoga. Okay, thank you, sir. Now, moving on to the journey of yoga. Why it is important. Yogic practices And these chapters cover yoga definition, origin, history, and development. Then we will be reading about major schools of yoga, which includes Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karam Yoga, and most important, Patanjali Yoga. That is the major part which deals with all aspects of yogic life required for a young as well as for healthy one to understand. As you all know, definitions has already been conveyed, told by my predecessor, Dr. Tarak Nath sir. I am just only highlighting. Yog. Yog means Anushashanam. It is often used to introduce explanation, unity, harmony with yourself. Anusashan, your discipline, internal discipline of your body, your mind, your feelings, your experience. Again, it is available in the chapters Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. मन के विकारों को दूर करना ही योग है. The control on your thoughts is योग. भगवान कृष्ण ने बहुत अच्छी एक डेफिनेशन दी थी, कहा था गीता में, योगस्य कर्मसु कौशलम. The skillness in action is yoga. Now moving on to the history of yoga. Our ancestors has given a variety. They have invented a yoga in our day-to-day life. From where they have invented, we are just highlighting the main event. The yoga existence, it has been found 3000 BC. And you will see, although existing is not known scientifically, there are some stones carving depictions, figures in yoga positions found in archaeological sites in the Indus Valley dating back 5000 years or more. These are separated into 4 periods. Vedic period.
गौरव से स्लाइड चेंज करो, स्लाइड चेंज नहीं हो.
Okay. It's my slide is audible now. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So we are moving towards history. As you can see, yoga's existence can be found around 3000 BC. Existing already is not known scientifically, but stone carving depictions, figures in yoga positions have been found in archaeological sites in Indus Valley dating back 5000 years. Accordingly, they have separated into 4 parts. That is Vedic period, pre-classical yoga, classical period, and post-classical yoga. The first period, which tells us about Vedas. So there are 4 Vedas. They are the main source of all Hindu knowledge and spiritual teaching, where we are reading, understanding Gyan Yoga, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. Moving on to the next slide, that is Yoga in Indian culture. The creation of Upanishads marks a pre-classical yoga. As you can see, there are 200 scriptures of Upanishads describe the inner vision of reality, resulting from the devotion to Brahman. Then it comes pre-classical yoga. The onset of Hinduism and Buddhism started. Buddha started teaching Buddhism, which totally stresses on meditation. Lord Song, oldest known yoga scripture, completely devoted to the power of yoga. Now we are moving towards the most important part, that is Patanjali Yoga. This Patanjali Yoga has simplified the yoga for our young ones, for humanity, so that they can understand, they can perform, they can inherit into their life. The first is Ashtanga Yoga, which is a constituent of 8 parts: Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi. This is the modern era. Now, what we are doing is, we are totally concentrating on yoga asanas, on shavasanas, pranayam, healthy diet, and positive frame of mind. This is the modern era in which we are pressurizing, we are simply concentrating on these aspects. Now, we are moving on to the Patanjali Yoga and its bypass. Generally, Patanjali Yoga has differentiate into 4 parts. The first is asanas or body posture. It is a very important part because a student has to perform asanas, then only he will be able to understand the position, the posture, the benefit. The second part is pranayam, breathing exercise. While doing asanas, we need to concentrate on our breathing exercises. The third part, internal purification, cleansing of your body parts, cleansing of your digestive system, cleansing of your intestine. That is the most important part. And when you are able to understand and grasp asanas, pranayam, and kriya, then you will be able to achieve meditation. The last part, the inner feeling, the inner depthness, the innermost शांति का अनुभव जिसको हम कहते हैं होना. If we divide these 4 parts, what is asana? Now everyone, those who are listening, sitting on some place, sthir sukham asanam, the place where you feel comfortable, to understand, that is called asana. Asanas are further divided into 4 parts, that is supine line asanas. Asanas mainly using supine, रीढ़ की हड्डी के बल किए जाने वाले आसन, कमर के बल किए जाने वाले आसन. The next part is prone line, asanas which can be performed on your chest. पेट के बल किए जाने वाले आसन, छाती के बल किए जाने वाले आसन. The next is sitting asanas, the asan which can be performed while sitting, बैठ के करने वाले आसन. And the last is standing asanas. Asanas which can be done by standing, khade hoke karne wale asanas. So these are the major parts which require more and more practice. Practically, then only we can understand the pros and cons of every asana. Benefits of Surya Namaskar. It is a culmination of all the asanas. If you do it, you will feel it will help to relax your mind, improve your flexibility, helps to burn excess fat, helps to build your mental focus, improves your blood circulation, gives strength to your body, helps cope with insomnia, improve your posture, improve your muscle tone, and finally improve your internal organs. बच्चे कहते हैं हमें एक्सरसाइज करने जिम जाना है क्यों? You can find out the benefits of Surya Namaskar. It is making your muscles strong. It is increasing the energy. It is increasing the flexibility, increasing the body stamina, and the most important part, improving your concentration. So at least everyone can understand. I am not against of going and building strength in gym, but when you have the benefit in your house, you can perform and increase your body part, increase your flexibility, increase and make your muscles strong. The next part is pranayama. What is pran? Today in this world, in this COVID area, everyone is gasping for breath. Everyone is running around and preparing cylinders so that they can get the oxygen. Why? Because we have been forgotten our ancestors' learning, that is pranayama. Need to go near to the nature and understand the importance of pranayama. The definition of pranayama is Shwas Prashwas Gati Viched Pranayama. The control on your breathing process is called pranayama. It involves deep inhalation, that is first part, Urak. The second part, holding breath, Kumbhak. And after that, you are releasing it, Rechak. When you mastery over these three processes, you will be able to control your breathing process. It will help to energize your internal organs, give strength to your whole body. Now you can see different types of pranayams. You can find out on the screen. Anulom Vilom Pranayam. This is alternate nostril breathing. Breathing from your left nostril, breathe out from your right nostril. Surya Vedi Pranayam. Breathing, breathe out. Shitli Pranayam. From the word, you can itself understand. It gives you coolness. Shitalta. Shitkari Pranayam. A B sound. You will feel the whole organs, especially your throat, will get the most of healing. Ujjayi Pranayam. And the last is Brahmari Pranayam. So these are the different types of pranayam. You will understand, you will get to know their pros and cons, benefits and precautions in the handbook, which has been made for all the students as well as for the teachers, those who are going to train it. This is the most important part. You have physically fit from outside. You have control on your breathing. What about your internal organs? This Shat Karma will give you an idea, will give you an power to understand the Shuddhi Kriya. This is a cleansing technique, cleaning of internal organs, digestive organ, excretory system. These includes Kapalbhati, Tratak, gazing at one place. Neti, Neti can be defined in so many parts. It can be Sutra Neti, Jal Neti. Then there is a dhoti. You are eating 8 to 9 meter of cotton clothes, and it will help you out to clean your digestive system. Noli, you are, as you have all of have seen, Baba Ramdev ji doing and shifting his stomach from one place to another, right and left, and then the basti. These cleansing process will help to clean your internal organs and you feel more energized. Benefits of pranayama. When you are able to control on your breath, it helps to relieve the stress, makes you more aware, induces peace and relaxation, helps you burn calories, balance your heart rate, and improves your digestion. And the most importantly, when you have mastered asanas, pranayam, and perform the Shat-kriyas, what will happen? Your whole body will keep on dancing to the tune of mind. Your body, your inner sense will keep on dancing because you are totally fit from outside, totally fit from your inner side. You feel light, your emotions are top of the world. Okay, now we are moving on to the conclusion. This is the most important part. What our ancestors has given us, a ray of hope. An ancestor way of life is full, peaceful life, near to nature. What is our present situation? So at the end, due to some technical problem, again the sharing has gone down. But moving on to the conclusion part, what our ancestors has given us, a ray of life, ancestors has given us a clean environment. What we are giving to our young generation, a COVID-like situation, moving away from the earth. Now it's our duty to provide our young ones again a ray of life, so that this yoga book is not a book of skill. It is just a way of life to live, rejuvenate yourself, creation of self-belief. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for such a lovely words. I will welcome Dr. Rajkumar Yadav, Professor in AIMS, to let us know the first aid CPR in yoga. Rajkumar, sir. Rajkumar, sir, can you hear me? Yes.
So we can't hear you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Yes. Can you
Yes,
hear
sir.
me? Can you? Yes. So good Madam Roshni Sarkar, Madam, and I am part of this launch of CBSC Student Handbook of Yoga for class 11th and 12th. And definitely this is the important job and work done by CBSC, especially the Skill Education Unit or Skill Education Council. And they have tried to show the great vision of our government and ministry that this yoga should be the part of as a subject or a skill unit or a skill for class 11th and 12th. In this book, the CBSC Student Handbook of Yoga for class 11th and 12th, in this book for chapter, one of the chapters in unit 3, we have tried to include the introduction as introduction to first aid and CPR. And that is in unit 3, Yoga for Health Promotion. And very briefly, what is first aid? First aid. It basically means can be is basically life saving and is life saving.
So your voice is breaking.
Okay. Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
I think yes. Okay, fine. So in this handbook, in the unit 3, we have tried to include the yoga for health promotion. And in this yoga for health promotion group, a part, one of the chapters is introduction to first aid and CPR. And basically, the meaning is during medical emergency or accidents, uh, the first aid is essential or very important. And first aid means first aid is the first and immediate help given to a sick or injured person. In today's world, one of the commonest uh, is the road traffic accidents. And during that time, a person can be a lifesaver for the injured person, for the traumatized patient or person. So in this first aid, and that first aid also include the CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation. So first aid can be performed by anyone. I mean to say the person, simple general man, simple common man, and there are a lot of training centers which can provide a training for the first aid as well as CPR. So if you are trained, well and good. If you are the untrained, even then you can provide the first aid. So the primary aim of the first aid is to minimize the pain or prevent death or serious injury, especially like this, I told you, the road traffic accidents. So it means the first aid is addressing some important factors, like in the case of site of accident, if you can apply some first aid techniques to prevent the further worsening of the condition or further worsening of the patient. For example, applying adhesive bandages to a small wound or supporting a broken arm or leg. Like all this is very common in the roadside traffic accidents. So that is the importance of first aid, and everybody, and the purpose of including the first aid here is that everybody, every student should understand the importance of first aid, should try to learn the first aid, and in the case of emergency, the first aid, by providing the first aid, a person can be lifesaver for the affected patient or the traumatized or critically traumatized patient. So first aid basically involves very common sense decision, and that is basically we do in the best interest of an injured person in an emergency situation. So like usually we say the first aid basically means A, B, C, D. A means airway. Airways means क्या पेशेंट या जो इमरजेंसी सिचुएशन आ गई है, पेशेंट एकदम से गिर पड़ा है, अनकॉन्शियस हो गया है, या रोड साइड एक्सीडेंट में सडनली गिर पड़ा है, वो क्या सांस ले पा रहा है, एयरवेज क्लियर है. तो एयरवेज और ब्रीदिंग. एंड नेक्स्ट इज सी इज सर्कुलेशन, एंड देन डिसेबिलिटी. मतलब क्या वो पेशेंट सांस ले पा रहा है ठीक से, उसकी सांसें ठीक से चल रही हैं, उसकी पल्स नाड़ी उसकी ठीक से चल रही है, और उससे भी पहले ये हमें देखना होता है क्या वो कॉन्शियस है या अनकॉन्शियस हो गया है. अगर कॉन्शियस है तो उसके एयरवेज ठीक है, सांस ठीक से ले पा रहा है, उसकी सर्कुलेशन, उसकी नाड़ी ठीक से चल रही है, और उसको कोई डिसेबिलिटी तो नहीं हो गई, कोई बहुत ऐसा एक्सीडेंट तो नहीं हो गया है जिसकी वजह से उसको हाथ या पैर में बहुत ज़्यादा चोट आ गई है. in this scenario, a person can provide the first aid, which may be trained person or untrained person. So what are the important points which you have to note? One is the patient is in relatively safer position, safer environment? Is the person conscious or unconscious? If the person appears unconscious, then we can simply tap and talk, and okay, we can ask, okay, are you okay? And then definitely very important, you should try to call the emergency helpline number. And as I told you, the ABCD, try to look and listen the movement of the chest, सांस कितनी चल रही है, and try to listen the breathing. जब सांस चलती है तो एक हल्की सी आवाज आती है, आप लोगों ने इसको शायद फील किया होगा. पल्स को फील करने की कोशिश करिए, नाड़ी को फील करने की कोशिश करिए. एंड उसके आगे अगर पेशेंट बहुत ज़्यादा अनकॉन्शियस हो रहा है, मतलब उसकी हार्ट चलने की रुक रहा है, इन दो सिनेरियो हमें कार्डियोपल्मोनरी रिससिटेशन या सीपीआर करना पड़ता है. सीपीआर का पर्पस ये है कि हम उसके हार्ट को चलाते रहें, उसके सर्कुलेशन को चलाते रहें. सो इन दो सिनेरियो सीपीआर और कार्डियोपल्मोनरी रिससिटेशन is a life-saving procedure, and it is expected that everybody should know the CPR. Every student should know that CPR. You should try to understand the CPR, and if possible, be trained in CPR. There are many training centers, and there are many camps which are organized just to train everyone, just to train the common man in CPR, because emergency can be anywhere. It can happen at your home. It can happen during travel. You are going in a bus, in a train, or in an aeroplane, in a flight, and during that time suddenly you find somebody is suddenly becomes unconscious. So definitely you in those scenario you need to do the CPR. And CPR basically means you try to move the chest part. Usually it is done 100 times in a minute with the help of your two hands, and we provide the pressure on the chest 100 times in a minute. And that is usually done if you are untrained. If you are trained, then definitely we follow the concept of to maintain the airway, breathing, and circulation. And whenever there are kids or small children or babies, then we have to very softer to do the CPR. So in short, CPR, the cardiopulmonary resuscitation, may be a life-saving procedure in emergency. During the medical emergency, during the road accidents, this first aid is first and immediate help given to a sick or injured person, and which may include cardiopulmonary resuscitation, and it can be life-saving or life-changing for an injured person. So that is the basic concept and introduction to first aid and CPR. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your such a lovely details about the CPR, which is very important part of our daily life. This portion of our program goes to the end part, the vote of thanks from my side to all the principals, especially from the Greenfield School, Safdarjung, AN Senior Secondary School, Mayur Vihar, Delhi World Public School, Noida Extension, and TPS Greater Noida, who has helped us to give the illustrations in the book by their student as well as Prudent School, whose kids has made the cover page of the books, which made this book more towards the student. And I think this book will help our student as well as everybody for it. And last but not the least, thank you very much, our director, sir, Dr. Vishwati Saha, Dr. Joseph, sir, and our chairperson, and R.P. Singh, sir, and Tarak, sir, Gaurav, sir, and Professor Yadav, sir, from AIMS. Thank you very much. And thank you all principals and teachers. Without you, this program is not going to be completed. And thank you for all your support. Thank you very much for attending the program with us. And I hope all school have the yoga in their curriculum and as a syllabus in their student from 6 to 12, so that we give a nice world to every new child who is in the birth, so that they can understand yoga is a life-saving and it's a part and parcel of life. It's not a subject. It is, you can say it's a breathing of ours. Thank you very much.